Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the go home show of Thursday Night SmackDown. I've been calling it Friday Night SmackDown, but I've actually discovered that I was wrong. It's Thursday Night SmackDown. Very weird. I don't know when that changes, but for I guess role-playing purposes, we'll keep it until this TV deal expires. So yeah, Thursday Night SmackDown, the go-home show for Judgment Day, and the Judgment Day card is pretty much, set. We could add a match or two here tonight, as we know that if Ultimo Dragon and his friend, we don't know who his friend is, but if he and his friend can get the victory against Jamie Noble and Chavo Guerrero, then Ultimo will get a Cruiserweight Championship match at the pay-per-view. We will also see who is the world champion, who the WWE champion is going to be going into Judgment Day, as after a surprising victory, tag team victory from the Big Show and JBL against Eddie Guerrero and The Undertaker last week, Big Show is getting a WWE Championship match in the main event tonight, and presumably taking on JBL at Judgment Day if he can win. And with Kurt Angle's new insurance policy, Ken Shamrock in the scene, who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows if Eddie Guerrero is gonna walk out of SmackDown tonight with the WWE Championship? And of course, not nearly as important as the other two matches, we have Spike Dudley versus Perry Saturn. Perry Saturn and Rick Steiner. I guess Perry Steiner, they both did return. They were both in the company previously. Rick Steiner not nearly as well known as Perry Saturn in his run back in, what was it, like 95, 96 with the Steiner brothers. But yeah, Perry Saturn and Rick Steiner returned as this new tag team named Total Domination. Tony Chimmel's first two clients here in the WWE. And they took out the Dudley boys, and Spike Dudley trying to stand up for his brothers. So yeah, we have that all on tonight's SmackDown. So without further ado, let's get into the go-home show. When we kick off the go-home show with our interim GM, Kurt Angle, hyping up his new insurance policy, bodyguard, future of SmackDown, presumably, whatever Kurt Angle wants him to be, that's what he's gonna be. He hypes up Ken Shamrock, the baddest man on the planet, one of the most dangerous men in not only professional wrestling, but mixed martial arts, amateur wrestling, any kind of physical activity, you name it, Ken Shamrock is better than you at it, and The Undertaker thinks that he can come at the interim GM and not face any consequences. Well, Undertaker, you might be a dead man walking, but you will be a dead man dying when you take on the most dangerous human being in the face of the world, Ken Shamrock, at Judgment Day. And Undertaker does not come out. No, it is Paul Bearer who do I gotta do the fucking voice again? I'll do the fucking voice. Oh, Kurt Angle, you've made a huge mistake, Kurt Angle. My Undertaker is not happy with you, or John, or Paul, any of you that screwed him out of his championship matches, that have screwed him out of the victory last week. Kurt Angle, you might have a mortal man along your side, but you do not understand the can of worms you've just opened, the soul you've just unleashed. Ken Shamrock, you have hitched your wagon onto the wrong horse, because the only horse that you should be hitching onto is the Headless Horseman. You'd have a better chance of survival than going up against my Undertaker. And Kurt Angle and Ken Shamrock, they're a little freaked out, but honestly, right now, it's all just words. It's all just empty threats. They don't see an Undertaker. They're not scared. Kurt Angle and Ken Shamrock leave. They head to the back as Paul Bearer just stands on, holding and clutching the urn, watching Kurt Angle and Ken Shamrock walk away. And that's how we kick off this edition of SmackDown. But we follow that up with the tag team match. Chavo Guerrero and Jamie Noble make their entrance, and Ultimo Dragon comes out, and Howard Finkel, obviously Kurt Angle a little busy dealing with paranormal activity, he cannot announce who Ultimo Dragon's tag team partner is, so Howard Finkel does the honors, and he hypes up this man. He says, Ultimo Dragon, he has brought to the WWE one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers of all time, one of the greatest Japanese juniors of all time, if not the greatest Japanese junior heavyweight wrestler of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, Ultimo Dragon's tag team partner, Jushin Thunder Liger. Yeah, I can sign him. That's the beauty of this new loyalty system, is that it's not set in stone. You know what I mean? It depends on the personality type or the age of the person. There's factors that go into it. Most of the time, if you negotiate with somebody who is loyal to a company, they will say, I'm not signing any exclusive deals unless they're with New Japan or Noah or whatever it may be. But I said, fuck it. Jushin Thunder Liger is 37. He's able to be signed. I wonder if I can sign him. And then he signs full time. So we've just signed Jushin Thunder Liger full time. The cruiserweight title scene is gonna go crazy, as his gimmick was alright. Large penalty to charisma. But Chavo Guerrero, he knows who Jushin Thunder Liger is, and even though the majority of the WWE audience in 2004 do not know who Jushin Thunder Liger is, this is one hell of a showcase match for him, as him and Ultimo Dragon pull out all the high spots, all the fun stuff, and get the victory in a great 72 rated match. Jamie Noble was the weak link, and he didn't even have that bad of a performance. But, Jushin Thunder Liger and Ultimo Dragon defeat Jamie Noble and Chavo Guerrero in 10 minutes and 12 seconds when Ultimo Dragon pins the current Cruiserweight Champion and solidifies the Cruiserweight Championship match he will receive at Judgment Day. Ultimo versus Chavo, sanctioned by the board of directors. If the title match does not happen, Chavo Guerrero will be forced to vacate his title. There will be consequences, so the match is happening for real this time. No way out of it, Chavo. You gotta defend your championship against Ultimo Dragon. 72 rated match. What a way to start the show. We cut backstage to see JBL and Kurt Angle talking in their office, and JBL, he's not exactly the biggest fan of this Big Show idea, and Kurt Angle, and he brings this up to Kurt Angle, and he says, Kurt, this is supposed to be my moment. This was not supposed to be, no disrespect to the Big Show, no disrespect at all, but this was supposed to be my breakout moment. This was supposed to be me beating Eddie Guerrero, deporting him back to Mexico, and taking that WWE Championship. And then Kurt Angle just straight up says, John, look, I don't think you understand. I didn't choose you because I like you. I didn't choose you because I fear you. I chose you to take the world title from Eddie Guerrero because I don't like Eddie Guerrero. I didn't choose you because you've wowed me in any way, shape, or form. I chose you because at the time, you seemed like the best man to take that title from him. That's all I care about. John, if you want the world title, you have to work for me, not with me. And JBL says, well, this is fucking bullshit. I can beat Eddie Guerrero anytime that I want. I can't beat the Big Show. The Big Show is a big, stinky, useless fuck who can't think out of his ass. And Big Show, he walks in. Did he hear what just went down? Who knows? But he walks in as JBL is talking some mean shit. And if he heard what was going on, he at least acts like he doesn't. And he just walks in and he says, what's the game plan, gang? What are we doing? Are you guys going to be at ringside? And Kurt Angle obviously immediately gets out of it. He's like, dude, I can't. I got my fucking injury. I can't help you out in the match. And Big Show, he looks at John. He says, are you going to help me win this world title? And JBL, he looks at Kurt and he looks at Big Show and he says, I'm not gonna help, but I got the Bashams. The Basham brothers will help you out. The Basham brothers will make sure that you walk out tonight as WWE Champion. And Big Show gives him one mean smack on the back, like, that's the spirit. Let's tear this shit up at Judgment Day. So, Big Show and JBL, is there tension there? Who knows what's going on? Do they like each other? Will JBL help out the Big Show if need be? Who knows? 80 rated segment. The following segment sees Rob Van Dam in the ring, cutting a promo, probably like, I want to win the US title or some shit. And then Sean O'Haire and Dawn Marie come out, and we have seen Sean O'Haire and Dawn Marie, this new partnership. We've seen them a couple times on Velocity. And Sean O'Haire, and he comes out and he just looks at Rob and he says, Rob, I'm gonna be honest, I come out here and I preach every day about bringing yourself to indulge a little, giving in to the bad desires, and Rob, you inspire me. Everybody in the back understands what you do, and that is you pull out a fat reefer and you light one up and you come out and you do your job while intoxicated week in and week out, and we all respect you for that, and I respect you for that. However, if you do not control your desires, then you will never be the United States champion. And Rob's just like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you want, but it sounds like you're trying to get me in major trouble. I do not do drugs. I do not condone the use of drugs. And if you want to continue to mess with me and make libels and falsehoods about me, then you can meet me in the ring later tonight. And Sean's like, no, Rob, you got me all wrong. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to allow you to give into your vices without ruining your career. And Rob says, dude, I don't know what the hell you want, but I'm gonna beat your ass tonight, and then I'm gonna go into Judgment Day, and I'm gonna beat Booker T's ass, and I'm gonna respectfully beat Rey Mysterio's ass because I respect him as a human being, and I'm going to get myself a United States Championship match, bro. And he walks away, and Sean O'Haire, very upset. And now he's got a match later tonight, and Dawn Marie looks more upset than anyone else. 62 for this, honestly, whatever this is. We cut backstage to Howard Finkel talking to Eddie Guerrero, and Finkel is like, Eddie, it's kind of been an open secret for the past few weeks that Kurt Angle, our interim GM, is moving heaven and earth to try to make sure you are no longer the WWE Champion, and he has put you in grueling matches week in and week out, and stacked the cards against you, and after a pretty lopsided loss to Kurt Angle's cronies in JBL and Big Show, you now have to defend your WWE Championship. Does this bother you at all? Does this light a fire under your ass? And Eddie says, Howard, I gotta be real with you. Kurt Angle can do whatever the hell he wants. He can throw whatever obstacle he wants at me, and I'm gonna overcome them. Look, I'm gonna be honest, Fink, I can't really get too mad at what Kurt Angle does. He punches below the belt. He's doing everything at his disposal to get what he wants. I mean, if that doesn't describe me to a T, I don't know what does. If Kurt Angle's gonna lie and try to steal my title, I'm gonna cheat and keep it. So it's as simple as, if Kurt Angle really wants to do a battle of who can break the most rules, then, I'm sorry, Kurt. You're gonna lose to me every single time, and then I'm gonna take your wallet, too. 84 rated segment. Eddie Guerrero pretty much just saying if Kurt Angle wants to smoke, then he can come to the kitchen. Eddie Guerrero, can you beat Eddie Guerrero at his own game? Eddie Guerrero does not think you can. Our next match sees Perry Saturn and Spike Dudley. I guess they're both unimportant. Is that for real? I could have sworn Perry Saturn was a recognizable. That's a bit of a shame. That's fucking crazy. Wow, Spike Dudley too. Spike Dudley, unimportant. Perry Saturn, damn, that's crazy. I'm almost positive he was recognizable just last week. That's a bit of a shame. I was really hoping for a fun match here, but shit happens. It only gets a 50. However, Perry Saturn, in his re-debut here on Friday Night SmackDown, gets the victory over Spike Dudley in 8 minutes and 9 seconds. Obviously with the help of Tony Chimmel and Rick Steiner down at ringside, and then Perry Saturn and Rick Steiner, Total Domination, continue the beatdown on little Spike Dudley until his brothers in arms, Bubba and Devon, come out and try to make the save. However, they are quickly distracted by Tony Chimmel, who starts throwing socks at them, and it gives them enough of an attention so that Perry Saturn and Rick Steiner can escape. So not exactly the defining tough guy moment that I'm sure Perry and Rick Steiner were imagining, but they were able to get out of this situation without a scratch going into that tag team match that we've got on the next on the pay-per-view. Total Domination versus the Dudley Boys. 63 for this segment. Our following segment gets a 73 as Kurt Angle and Ken Shamrock are in their office, and Kurt is looking at Ken, and he's like, Kurt, you're not losing it. We're not losing it, all right? Paul, he's all talk. He didn't, the Undertaker, is he, I don't understand how he works, but, you know, nothing's gonna happen. Nothing at all is gonna happen. Nothing bad ever happens. And then his chair breaks and he falls over. And he's like, fuck, that was just a coincidence. And Shamrock's helping him up. And then the lights go off. And he's like, okay, so every single one of these fucking light bulbs. Okay. No, again, it's just maybe the power went out. Maybe someone blew a fuse. And then all the light bulbs explode. And he's like, okay, Ken, I know I'm the GM. I gotta get the fuck out of here. I think it's time I bail. Can you help me to my car? I don't want to be here any longer. I'm scared. And yeah, so the Undertaker is fucking with him from afar, presumably. Maybe it was all coincidence, and a fuse broke, and then all the lights exploded because the fuse broke, but Kurt Angle is too freaked out to continue SmackDown. So, 73, as Kurt Angle says, it's time to leave. We see a promo, we cut backstage where Dawn Marie is talking to Booker T, and she essentially says, look, my client Sean O'Haire is taking on Rob Van Dam later tonight, and, I think we could benefit from a partnership, and Booker T says, what kind of partnership would that be? And she says, well, you're facing Rob at the pay-per-view. What a better way to get the edge at him on the pay-per-view by rattling his confidence and making sure that Sean O'Haire wins tonight. Sean O'Haire beats him. His confidence is shooken for the pay-per-view. He hasn't won. He hasn't beaten you since. He's shaken. We win. I say it's a win-win, and Booker T looks at her like, yeah, it might be a win-win. 61 rated segment. Are Dawn and Booker T gonna help Sean O'Haire win later tonight? The following angle, this one sucked. The following angle sees Big Show talking to JBL and the Bashams, essentially like, hey, John, Kurt's gonna dip. What's exactly the game plan? We gotta I want to know what the plan is to make sure that, you know, I'm the champion. And John's like, look, Eddie's probably expecting that, we run out in the middle of the match, okay? So, if that's what he's expecting, then let's do something he's not expecting. And that's as simple as I'm gonna have the Bashams hide behind some sort of object, some sort of box, right in front of Gorilla, and then right before Eddie goes out, I'm gonna distract him, and I'm gonna start talking to him, and then, you know, mid-conversation, the Bashams, they're gonna jump him, and we're gonna butter him up all nice so that we can just throw him into that ring. Ref rings the bell, you hit a choke slam, 1, 2, 3, you're the new champion. How's that sound? And Show says, whatever, get it done. 69 for this segment. The following match between Sean O'Haire and Rob Van Dam gets a 73, as exactly what everyone thought was going to happen starts to happen, as Rob Van Dam hits the Rolling Thunder. He starts to climb to the top rope when Booker T comes running out, distracts the referee. Dawn Marie looks to, hit Rob Van Dam with a foreign object, but Rey Mysterio comes running in from the crowd, pulls the object away from Dawn Marie, allowing Rob Van Dam to focus on the match, hit Sean O'Haire with the frog splash. Rey takes down Booker T, referee counts the pin, 1, 2, 3, and despite the attempt by Booker T and Dawn Marie, Rob Van Dam is successful, gets the victory here tonight in the Go Home Show in a nice 73 rated match. In the following segment, Kurt Angle is being taken to his limousine. He is trying to leave the building, and, he's starting to drive, and he's like, Ken, you gotta make sure, just, you know, if JBL needs help or Big Show needs help, just help him out. Alright, I think I just need to sleep. I'm really getting in my own head. I'm starting to have a panic attack, you know. It's just, Paul Beary's got such a fucking weird voice. It creeps me the fuck out. And Ken's like, yeah, whatever. Kurt, sure, buddy, just whatever, go if you need to. And he's like, alright, okay, fine, I'll go. Thank you, Ken. You'll take care of it. You're the man. That's why you'll be future champ, alright? And he tries to start the car, and it just doesn't go. It doesn't even rev the engine. The engine's not even revved. And he's like, what the fuck what now? And then just purple smoke just starts to surround the limo. And he starts yelling, Ken! can help, because right in front of him, you just slowly see the Undertaker rise up, rip the hood of the car off of the fucking limousine, and he goes right after Kurt, but Ken did not leave fully yet, as he rushes to the Undertaker, and Ken Shamrock and the Undertaker start to brawl, as Kurt Angle runs into a different car, breaks the window open, and makes a great escape, stealing somebody else's car, presumably another wrestler that he has employed. So a 71 rated segment that not only sees The Undertaker appear out of nowhere, an MMA fighter fight a dead man, and Kurt Angle steal a car. 71 for this angle here. Yeah, hyping up the Undertaker Ken Shamrock match. In the following segment, John Cena is getting interviewed by Howard Finkel. Howard's like, John Cena, you've got a U.S. title match coming up against Rene Dupree. What is your strategy? And John Cena once again just being like, I don't need a fucking strategy. It's Rene Dupree. I think I'm fine. And then he is jumped by Rene Dupree, who just says, oh, you think you're fine? You think you're better than me? Well, watch this. And then he has, the flag of Montreal, the fucking blue one. A shout out to everyone from Quebec and Montreal. So he has the flag of Montreal, and he just starts choking John Cena out with the flag of Montreal. He says, I spit on you filthy Americans, I spit on you filthy normal Canadians, any of you, as he's choking him out, he looks right at Finkel, and he says, Finkel, give me the fucking microphone, and Finkel hands the microphone to him, and as he's choking him out, he just looks at Cena, and he says, do you respect me yet? Do you fear me yet? If I win this title, screw the United States. This will become the WWE French-Canadian Heavyweight Championship. 75 rated angle. Rene Dupree promises to rename the United States Championship if he wins the belt by violently choking out John Cena with a flag. And it is time for the main event. The Big Show makes his entrance to the ring, and Eddie Guerrero, he starts to make his entrance when, as expected, he is cut off by JBL. And John says, Eddie, look, buddy, I'm just letting you know, Big Show, he's a really big fighter. And he pauses and he looks around, and Eddie's like, what? Is that all? He's a big fighter? And John's like, fucking, yeah, he's a really tough competitor, and if you want to face a guy like him, you also have to be a really big fighter. And he looks around, he's like, oh, what the fuck? And Eddie's like, John, what the fuck do you want from me, buddy? Look, I know you can't get enough of me, John, but, we'll see each other at Judgment Day. Don't you worry. I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna beat the big-tittied fighter Big Show, and then I'm gonna go to Judgment Day, and I'm gonna take your stupid cowboy ass, and I'm gonna lasso you all the way to El Paso, and then I'm gonna retain the title. So you can talk to me then, if that's alright. Is that cool? And John's like, yeah, that's cool, I guess go on. And he leaves. The Bashams never come out. And he fucking looks behind him. He's like, Danny, Doug, what the fuck? I said fighter like 3 times. That was our word. You were supposed to jump out and attack him. Where did you guys go? And he looks and he goes into the locker room where they were hiding. And he just sees the Bashams completely laid out. And the lights are all dimmed and flickering, and he's like, what the fuck? And then you hear another bird just in the back, and he's like, oh shit, what the fuck, that thing again. And then he looks out to the ring, and he's like, shit, I might have to do this myself. 75 rated segment as we go into the main event. Big Show, Eddie Guerrero for the WWE Championship. This match goes about 15 minutes. Eddie Guerrero looks to have the match under control when eventually JBL, we didn't know if JBL was going to run out, but JBL, he does run in. He tries to distract the referee, but then the glass shatters. Stone Cold's here. The creative finish was a failure. Fuck, this would have been such a good match. The glass shatters. Stone Cold is here. He comes out. He gives JBL one big stunner. And Big Show, he's looking out, the ref's looking at Stone Cold like, what the fuck, why is Stone Cold Steve Austin here? And the Big Show's looking at Stone Cold, and he turns around right to Eddie Guerrero, who has his WWE Championship, and he clocks Big Show right over the head with it, throws the title out, hits Big Show with a frog splash. 1, 2, 3, Eddie Guerrero makes defense number 4 of his WWE Championship, in no small part to Stone Cold Steve Austin. who enters the ring. Fuck, I can't get one goddamn good promo on this show. I swear to God, this is gonna be a bad SmackDown. Nobody got a good fucking anything. I mean, God, alright, sorry. Stone Cold, he goes into the ring, and he says, "You big ass show motherfucker, I had one hell of an announcement that I was not able to say last week, Big Show, and I really wish I was gonna be able to say it last week, but I guess I'll say it tonight. My big announcement is that I'm cleared to compete. After years on the shelf due to a neck injury, Stone Cold Steve Austin is cleared to compete in the World Wrestling Entertainment Federation. And I just might say, I've asked the board of directors if I can have a match at Judgment Day, and they said yeah. So Big Show, you might not have a match at Judgment Day, or you think because your match at Judgment Day is actually going to be against me, Steve Austin. Yeah, bombshell announcement. That was what Steve Austin's big announcement was supposed to be last week. He's not retired. I straight up, after I recorded that first inauguration episode, I looked at Steve Austin and I'm like, fuck, he's only 39. I wonder if I can make him unretire. So I asked him and he's like, yeah, I think I got another run in me. So we're gonna do Stone Cold versus the Big Show at Judgment Day. 82 rated show, like I said. Nobody really got a great promo. Promos are very hit or miss on SmackDown. So, you know, the main event would have been incredible if the creative finish didn't fail. I mean, I had pretty shit RNG this SmackDown. The mid-card matches did decent. Nobody got a good promo, which is a big shame. Yeah, I don't know what's with me today. Last Raw and Heat, I was very, energied up, and now today I have no energy. So the fucking B Show report is gonna be one hell of a video to watch, where at the very beginning I'm just hanging on by a thread, and then Heat, I'm just out of my fucking mind. So I hope you enjoyed this edition of SmackDown regardless. I'm sorry, I don't know what's with me today. I just feel out of it, but I still wanted to run SmackDown, and I'm gonna run Velocity. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this edition of Friday Night SmackDown. Thursday Night SmackDown, and I hope you all come back for the B Show report, and then it is time for SmackDown Presents Judgment Day.